Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the 2.4 definite integrals. So there are three learning objectives here, which is the first one is use the properties of definite integral, and then the second one is evaluate the definite integrals. And the third one will be find the area of a region bounded by this tree. But this third LO will be recorded in another video. In this particular video, we will use the properties and then we evaluate the definite integral. Let's look at the first example. First example here, evaluate the integral of -1 until 3 with the function of x cubed plus 1 dx. So let's go with the first step, which is solve the indefinite integral first. So I write down the indefinite integration. What does it mean by indefinite anyway? Indefinite means it is exactly the same question here. It is the integration here, but we write it without the limit. Okay, so you can see here, I write down the exact integration there from the first example here, which is the x cubed plus 1. We integrate it with respect to x. We will get x to the power 4 over 4 plus x, and then we put plus c. This will give you 1 mark. So please write down a very proper indefinite integral. Okay, meaning without the limit yet. Without the limit. Okay, without. The first step is without these things, this limit. The second step, now we solve the definite. The definite means with limit. The exact question, which is x cubed, the integration of x cubed plus 1 dx, but then we bring the limit together, which is the -1 until 3. Now, this is called as definite integral, okay? And now we don't have to integrate it anymore. We already got our answer here, and then we bring it down there. We bring it down below here, which means I copy paste. But I copy paste without the C. No more plus C anymore. But I now put a big bracket with the limit of -1 until 3. So di sinilah perbezaan. Perbezaan apa? Perbezaan indefinite dan juga definite. Indefinite bermaksud kita solve dia and then we put plus C. But when we solve the definite, it means no more plus C. Dah tak ada lagi plus C, but we put a big bracket with the limit of -1 until 3. Okay? Itulah perbezaan yang sangat ketara di sini dan di sini. And then we are now ready to solve these things, which you have learned this in your SPM level. It will give us a big 2 bracket, and then in the middle here, we must minus it. Okay? So how do we solve this? It is just actually 3 to the power of 4 over 4 plus 3. How do I get this? It is just from my answer here. I changed this x into the value of 3. This is what I did here. And then I minus it with -1 with a bracket of to the power of 4 over 4 plus with -1. How do I get this? It is just because I bring back the answer there, but I change this x into the value of -1 pula. So this is it. And then I solve this using calculator and I will get a value of 24. So make sure you subs in the value of 3 dahulu. After that, baru you subs in the value of -1. So it's going to be always, the formula is always FB, because this is B, right? And then minus with FA. This is where you already learned it in SPM level. So I don't have to explain it further. You already understand this perfectly. Let's go to the second question, which is evaluate the exponential integration. So the first step is always integrate it without the limit. So I will get exponent of 2x over 2 plus c. And then next step, I solve the definite integral, which means I solve the limits. I solved it with the limit given to us, which is from 0 until 1. I write it like this. I write down x equal, meaning very more specific for you guys to know that kenapa sini adalah x equals to 0, x equals to 1. It is just because, why is it x? It is just because this is with respect to x. Therefore, it means that the value of the limit should be x, not any other alphabet. Okay? So here we go. We take back the answer above, but then we don't put any more plus c, but we put a big bracket with the limit from 0 until 1. Right? From the question here said from 0 until 1. So that is what we are going to solve. Therefore, exponent of 2 times 1, over with 2 minus with exponent of 2 times 0 over with 2. The answer will be exponent of 2 over 2 minus with 1 over 2. That's it. Let's solve the third example. Evaluate the integral of 0 until pi over 4 with the function of sine 2x minus secant squared x dx. So now the first step is to solve the indefinite integral. So we write down without the limit. We write down the integral without the limit, okay? And then we integrate it. We will get negative cos 2x over 2 minus with tangent x plus c, right? And then we are now going to the second step, which is we integrate the trigo again, but then we now write down the limit, which is x equals to 0 until x equals to pi over 4. So this is the original question. We write down the limit at the second step. And then we don't have to integrate it anymore because we already integrated in our first step. Betul tak? Kita sudah pun integrate di step yang pertama. So tak perlu lagi integrate lagi sekali. Kita hanya pakai sahaja jawapan kita di sini dan kita letaklah di step yang kedua. But then we don't put any more plus c. We put 0 until pi over 4. So our job now is to subs in the value of pi over 4 into the x, and as well as the 0 into the x there. Okay, with a formula of fb minus fa. And then here we go. I will now just copy paste these things. I change the x into pi over 4. Pi over 4. And then this is only the first part. This is just the first part, okay guys? And then I must not forget to minus it with the second part, which is copy paste again the answer here. And then I change this x into 0. And now please use calculator in what? In radian mode. In the mode of radian, okay? Please remember to calculate this, you must use radian mode. If not, you won't get the answer. Then after you calculate it in your calculator, you will get the answer, which is -1 over 2. Okay, let's see the fourth question, which is we have here fx is equals to exponent x with a condition of x more than 0. And another one is 3x squared plus 1 with a condition of x less than or equal to 0. So there are two equations, two functions. There are two functions in one go. Okay, so another one is to the left, another one is to the right. So there are two different functions with two different conditions: x less than 0, x less than or equal to 0, and x more than 0. Okay, so this means we have a limit that we need to consider. Let's say, not let's say, this is the first question A. We have a limit of -2 until 0. Therefore, we know that -2 is over here. Until 0, this is the limit that we want, right? So this is the first question A, where which function, which correct fx that we need to choose. So we know that the quadratic function, which is the 3x squared, is the correct function untuk limit tersebut, di mana daripada -2 hingga 0. So I choose the correct function, which is the quadratic function, 3x squared plus 1. So this is going to give you 1 mark, okay? And then you are now know how to solve this already, because you know how to integrate this, and then you put plus c, and then you got the answer, and then you put back the limit at the second step, which is the -2 until 0, and then you integrate. No, you don't need to integrate it anymore. You bring the x cubed plus x there, and then you put the limit outside of the bracket, and then you subs in the value 0 and then -2 here. Okay, and then the answer is 10. That is the first question A. How about B? Look at here B. The B here is from the limit of x equal to 0 until 5. So here is a different function. If you look here in my number line, day 1, the limit of B is from 0 until 5. Therefore, this region, this area is where we need to choose the correct function, which is the exponent function, ex. Okay, so please choose the correct function and it will give you 1 mark. Okay, this type of question is pemilihan function itu kena tepat. Kalau tak, salahlah jawapan kita. And then we must always look at this limit. This limit will help you choose the correct function to be put inside of the integral. Okay, and so you got 1 mark already there, and then you, as usual, you do the step 1 and step 2, and then you will get this answer, exponent 5 minus 1. And then look at question C. Question C has a limit of -2 until 0, but this is not only function, but the function must be plus with 2. We know that the correct function is 3x squared plus 1, the quadratic, but we must not forget to put plus 1. Therefore, we will get positive 3. And then we solve this, solve the step 1 and step 2, and then sub in the value of 0 and -2 again as usual, and then we will get the value of 14. I want you to try this by your own without seeing my video here. Stop the video, pause the video for a moment, solve this by yourself. Okay? And then question D. So question D is a bit different because this is -2 until 5. Okay, so if you look here, this is quite familiar. And I want you to look at this properties first. This is the properties, okay? The properties of definite integral. Where if we have a limit of a different number that we know the value, like pit stop lah. Macam ada bus station untuk diberhentikan sekejap pada nombor tengah-tengahnya. So in this case, we have to relate it at the question A and question B. At the question A here, we have a -2 until 0. So 0 is the pit stop, okay? Is the bus station that we need to stop. And then we continue from 0 to 5, right? So you will see that 0 tu tempat dia berhenti. Kenapa? Sebab 0 ni lah pengantaran dia bertukar shift kepada function yang berlainan daripada sebelumnya. So sebab itulah 0 tu macam bus stop. Bus stop yang macam mana nak tulis? Macam ni lah yang perlu kita tulis dalam bentuk dua integral yang berbeza. So now I will delete this. I will not delete this. I'll make this small and then put it beside these things so that you know that this is the properties of the integral. And then I write down my integral, which is the first integral is from -2 until 0 with the function of 3x squared minus 1. Oh no, plus 1. And then I tutupkan dengan dx. Wajib tutup. And then I tambahkan balik dengan integral of 0, pit stop tadi, kosong, hingga apa? Hingga 5. Sebab 5 lah penutup dia. So 5 penutup dia, tapi pembuka dia adalah -2. Bus station dia adalah kosong. You see what I'm doing right now here, okay? So cara bacaan dia adalah from A to B. From -2 go to 0, stop. And then from 0 go to 5, then done. But we have to choose the correct function, which is the next function is exponent to x. Betul tak? Exponent x sahaja. Exponent x dx. Therefore, we already got the answer, guys. We don't have to calculate it anymore. The first here is 10, and the back here is exponent 5 minus 1. Therefore, the answer is just 9 plus exponent 5. You tak perlu lagi kira lagi sebab you sudah pun ada jawapan di soalan A dan soalan B. So, you tinggal pakai sahaja jawapan ini. Okay, so these are very simple example for you all to see. How about question number 5? Question number 5 is to evaluate the integral of -1 until 1, 3x squared square root of x cubed plus 1 dx. So you will see this is a bit, wow, this is a bit challenging because we need to solve this by substitution method. Okay, so substitution method, let me write down here. This is subs method. These are the 3 techniques of integration that you have learned from the last subtopic 2.3. Okay, the techniques of integration you sudah pun mahir. Itu dah dalam fikiran saya, you all dah pun mahir. And so my job right now here to only teach you how to solve the definite integral. You sekarang sudah pun pandai menyelesaikan indefinite integral. Therefore, you have no problem finding this answer by using substitution method. You are very pro already, okay? So now my job is to only teach you the second step, which is to solve the definite integral. Okay, so the definite integral here is to take back the answer from the first step here. I copy, paste, but I must not bring the plus c. And then I put big bracket, then I put the limit -1 until 1. That is the step, okay, the second step. And then what should I do? I sub in the value of 1 into x and minus it with another value of -1, sub into the answer there. Okay, so the answer is 2/3 times 1 cubed plus 1 to the power of 3/2, then minus with 2/3 times with -1 to the power of 3 plus 1, tutupkan dengan power 3/2. So please put a big bracket there, please. I beg you, please write down a big bracket there. Sebab apa? Sebab nak menunjukkan ini adalah 2 term yang berbeza. Sebab itulah saya letakkan bracket dengan jelas di situ, okay? And so you just calculate it in your calculator and then you will get the value of, what is it? The value which is square root of 32/3. Or the answer can be more simplified, which is 4 square root 2/3. So this is your answer. Okay, so now let's go to the next example, question 6. Find the integral of 0 until pi, where x times cos x squared dx. So how was it? Can I use substitution method? Oh, it seems that I can use the substitution method. So let's do it then. Kalau boleh subs, pakai subs dulu. Kalau subs tidak berjaya, barulah kita pakai by part method. But in this case, soalan ni boleh pakai substitution method, and so I dapat jawapan ini. And then second step, after I solve this plus C, I can now find the definite integral. I write down the question very nicely again, but then I must not forget to put its limit. Okay, ini limit yang wajib diletak pada step yang kedua, di mana kita berfokus, kita letaklah dia punya limit. Tapi kita tidak lagi perlu integrate, susah payah integrate. Sebab apa? Sebab kita sudah pun integrate di step yang pertama. And then we just bring this answer. But again, I say don't bring the plus C. No. Don't bring the plus C. But we put a big bracket saying that we need to find the value from 0 until pi. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to put in the value of pi into the x there and also the 0 there. Subs in the value wajib ditulis ya, sebab itu adalah permakahan. So 1/2 sine pi squared minus with 1/2 sine 0 squared. It will give us the answer in radian. Please again, setiap kali berjumpa dengan pi, we must make our calculator in radian mode. Make sure you put in radian mode, and so you will get the answer of sine pi squared over 2. That's it. That is your answer. Okay? Now let's go to the next question, the example 7. I'll go fast because it seems it is so easy. The concept of definite integral is very, very easy. Okay, so I'll go to the 7th question now. Find this integral where this integral, it seems like partial fraction, and so I have solved this partial fraction for you guys. I already found the value of a and b there, and then I subs in a and b over there, and then I am ready to solve the first step. So now what we should do first is we bring 1/3. We will get inside here is integral of 1/x minus 1 dx plus with 2/3 integral 1/x plus 2 dx. So from this one integral, I separate it into 2 integrals, okay? So that people understand that there are 2 terms there. And then I start to integrate it. I will get 1/3 ln x minus 1 plus with 2/3 ln x plus 2. And then don't forget plus c, and as well as your modulus. Modulus ni penting ya, tolong tulis modulus. Now the second step is to solve the definite integral. It's very easy. We just need to bring this answer, we copy and paste it, but don't bring the plus c. We just have to put a big bracket, and then we write down the limit, which is from where? From 0 until 2. So I put 0 until 2 there. This is your marks, okay? When the moment you write down the answer with the limit, it give you another mark. Okay, make sure you don't put plus c. And then we'll give you 1/3, what is it? Ln 2 minus 1 plus 2/3 ln 2 plus 2. So this is the first answer. Minus with, okay, jangan lupa ya, tolakkan dengan another bracket of 1/3 ln 0 minus 1 plus 2/3 ln 0 plus 2. And then tutup bracket. And so the answer is just 2/3 ln 2. So you just take your time and find this answer. Please do this by yourself. Don't just look out for my answers. So please also check whether I'm doing it correctly or not. Please calculate this as usual. Okay, thank you very much.